Hello everyone, welcome to the 6x6 2-in-1 album tutorial, yay! So first I want to go over the materials that you're going to need and then we'll get started. So you will need some scissors, some brads for swing tabs, your score tape or red line tape or whatever kind of adhesive of that sort that you prefer. I'll also be using my ATG gun for adding the pattern paper. I like the score tape for the construction of the pages, and then I add the pattern paper with the ATG, but you can do it all with score tape if you like. You will need a ruler and some kind of marking pen, pencil, marker, whatever you want. You will need some chipboard. Mine is a medium weight chipboard for the covers. You'll need a couple sheets. They don't need to be quite this big. These are quite large pieces, but you'll need a couple sheets of that. Of course, you will need your cardstock. I use an 80-pound cardstock from Mohawk, but you can use whatever cardstock you prefer. Then of course you will need your paper trimmer and your scoreboard with bone folder and scoring tool and magnets. So I get mine in bulk, if I can get them. I get mine in bulk. I love magnets and I use quite a few of them, so the little disc magnets, I get mine on eBay. And then you'll need your pattern paper. So for the first version of the album, I used the Magic Moments from Ella and Viv, kind of like a galaxy collection. And then for the second version, the slightly more intricate version, I used the DCWV Once Upon a Time stack, and there was two different ones and I had both of them, and I know that these are really old collections, so if you don't have them and you can't find them, it's not a big deal. You can use whatever paper you desire. This is just something that I've had in my stash forever and I hadn't used it, so I decided it was about time to use it. Alright, so once you have all of that gathered, we will begin. One last thing I forgot was a Tyvek envelope. I like to use these for my covers to strengthen them and kind of give the cover a little bit more ease of opening. I just totally crinkled mine as I pulled it out. You don't have to have Tyvek, it is optional. You can do what I do with the Tyvek, you can do it with cardstock, but the Tyvek is just so much stronger that I love using it. Okay, so let's get this out of the way and we shall begin with the base pages. So you will need 4 base page pieces and they measure 7 inches by 12 inches. And we're going to get our scoreboard and we are going to put them in on the 12-inch side. So you do need some 12 by 12 paper. Most of the construction I use 8.5 by 11, but you will need a few sheets of 12 by 12. Okay, so it's on the 12-inch side and we're going to score right down the center at 6. And then we are going to rotate your piece 90 degrees and we are going to score again at half and 6.5 on the 7-inch side. So we're going to do that to all 4 of your pieces. I apologize if you can hear, I've got a heater going in my studio because I live in a basement suite and it's very cold, so I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but I apologize if you can because I need the heat. Okay, so continuing 6, and then a half, and 6.5, and the last one, 6 on the 12-inch side, rotate 90 degrees, half 1 inch and 6.5 inches on the 7-inch side. Okay, so once you've got all those done, put your scoreboard away for a sec. And now we are going to add score tape just to one half of these 1/2 inch score lines. So there and there, and you want to make sure that your score tape does not cover the score line, that you leave a space there. And now we are going to cut at an angle, and then cut out the other 1/2 inch section that does not have score tape on it. We only need this part of the score line. So we're going to cut these other parts off, and they're equal size, so they're both 6 inches long, so either side is fine. And then we're gonna miter these other corners. Okay, so your piece should look like this. So the bottom 1/2 inch sections are gone, and then there's an angle here and an angle up here. And that just makes it so when you fold this over, like fold it on the score line, you're not gonna see that. So if you don't miter the corners, sometimes you can see that little bit of cardstock poking out the top, and this just makes it a lot cleaner. Okay, so we're gonna fold on these. Oh, I need my bone folder. Okay, and then we're gonna fold this one up and crease it as well. And then we're gonna remove the backing from the score tape. And we're going to fold this up. So now you've got this kind of, this is where it's going to attach to the binding system. So this is going to be your page. That's your base page. So we're going to do that 3 more times to the other pieces. So we'll add some score tape to 1/2, either the top or the bottom of these 1/2 inch sections, and make sure the score tape is on the valley side of your score line. So anyone who is unfamiliar with mini album making and scoring things, so when you score something, it creates that indent. Okay, so that indent is called a valley. On the other side is the raised edge, and we call that a mountain. So to help keep the structural integrity of your paper, because papers are made up of fibers, so to help keep the strength of it, you always want to fold away from that indent. Okay, you never fold in on an indent, because that weakens the paper. Okay, so I'm going to put the score tape on all of them and then kind of do it as an assembly line kind of scenario. So whenever we add score tape, it's always, well, almost always, 99% of the time, it's going to be on the valley side of the score line, the indented side of the score line. Okay, so there's our score tape. Now we can cut out those 1/2 inch sections that do not have score tape. And then miter these other corners, so just cut at an angle from the edge to the score line. Okay, so we're going to do that to all of them, and then we'll fold them up into our actual base pages. Get all those biddies out of your way. And now we will crease all of those score lines. And where does my bone folder go already? There it is. And use your bone folder just to give them an extra little crease there, and then remove the score tape backing. And fold it up to create your page. That's the second one. Alright, so 2 more times. Fantastic, there's 3. Alright, so there we go. So now we have got 4 base pages. Alright, so let us get our pieces ready for page 1. Okay, so your A piece is going to measure 6 inches by 6 3/8 inches. Your B piece is going to be 6 inches by 5.5 inches. Your C piece is 4 by 7. Okay, and you can stop there. Or, oh no, sorry. You can stop after the B, so you can just do the A and the B. That's for the simple album. The C is part of the slightly more elaborate album. And then there is also piece D, which is 4 inches across by 11 inches. Okay, so the C and the D, if you want to do the more elaborate album, cut those out. Otherwise, just do the A and the B. Okay, so the A piece, we're going to put it in our scoreboard on the 6 3/8 side. So 6 3/8 is at the top. And we're going to score it at half. And then your B piece, we are going to score at half on the 5.5 inch side. Okay, so if you're just doing the simple album, stop right there. If you'd like to continue and do the other part of it, then your C piece will score at half on the 4 inch side. Then you're going to rotate it 90 degrees. That first score line is at the top. And we are going to score again at half and at 6.5 on the 7 inch side. And then for your D piece, we are going to score at half on the 4 inch side. Then we're going to turn it. So we've rotated it 90 degrees and your score line is at the top, that first score line, but now we're also going to flip it, okay, because of that Valley Mountain rule, there's going to be folds going in different directions, so this way we stick to the rule and always have our valley folds folding away, if that makes sense. So now it's on the 11 inch side, and we are going to score at 6. Okay, so now take your scoreboard, put your scoreboard away for a moment. And we're going to put some score tape on the valley side of the A and the B. And we're going to miter the corners. So whenever we're mitering corners, it's pretty much always going to be like only where there's score tape. Those are the only corners you're going to miter where there's score tape. Okay, so there is that. Now we're going to get our base page, first base page. The opening is to the left. And we are going to adhere our A piece onto the right side of the base. Okay, so we're removing the backing from the score tape, and we are putting this on the right hand side of the base page. Okay, and then your piece B. Oh, I should be creasing these as I go. Where did I put my bone folder? Okay, and then the B piece is going to go on the left side of the base page. Okay, so there is your first page if you're doing the simple album. The simple one, I wanted it so you could like make the entire album in an afternoon. I mean, you could probably still do the more elaborate album even in an afternoon, but the first version is really simple. And then you can just add a lot of decorations and embellishments and everything to make it fancier. So if you're just doing the simple one, stop right there. And if you are doing the slightly more elaborate, then we will continue with the C and the D pieces. So we're going to add our score tape to the C piece on all three sides. Hello, Tendra. For anyone who hasn't done any of my tutorials, I have two cats who are huge helpers in the studio. You'll see them in almost every video. Okay, so just wanted to show you what I've done with the C piece. So the C piece is going to be a pocket. So whenever you have two intersecting score lines, you want to cut in at an angle and out at an angle. Okay, so you see that there? That's how your C should look. And then your D piece, we are going to cut out the shorter half-inch section. So you've got this longer part and then you've got a slightly shorter part. So we are going to, first we're going to put our score tape on the longer part because we want to make sure the score tape goes right to the very edge of like we're cutting it right here, so we want to make sure that it goes right to the edge. So now we're going to cut out that shorter half-inch section like that, and then we're going to miter that other corner. Okay, so your D piece looks like that. I'm going to get these out of the way, and then we'll put these two on. So your C piece, is going to push, so it's going to be a pocket. So fold the sides back first. Give them a little crease. And then fold the bottom up. Give it a little crease. And now for pockets, I like to take the side backing off first. So take that side and take that side, the backing off first. And then fold up the bottom section so that it adheres to the side bits just in the corner. Okay, and what this does is that it creates like a smooth channel for your tags. If you put the bottom down first and then the sides, sometimes tags will get caught right here. So this way it creates a nice smooth channel. Alright, so now remove the bottom part. Open up your A and your B. And now you have a choice here. You can either put it down at the bottom, or it also fits on the side, either that side or that side. So it's totally your choice. You can have it any of those variations. I'm going to put mine on the bottom. Actually, no, I'm going to put it on the side. I think I'm going to switch it up. Or wait, now I'm going to put it on the bottom. I can't decide. Which way, wait, I'm going to see which way I had my paper cut. I have my decorative paper already cut out and I have it going horizontally. So I'm going to put the pocket at the bottom. But just so you know that you do have options. Okay. And you can have the B over the A or the A over the B, whichever way you want to do it. And now for the D piece. So you'll notice that we have things going different, the score lines are different directions. So the top part folds this way. And then the ½ inch section folds back. Okay, you see how those went in different directions? Because that's why we flipped the paper. Okay. And you can adhere it a few different spots actually. So you can adhere it so that the edge meets the edge of the paper and it opens that way. So it would be kind of in the, not the center, but there'd be about an inch of space on your B piece here. Or you could adhere it right to the very edge of B. Or you could adhere it onto your A piece and have it way over here. Alright, so you can have it anywhere on this horizontal plane. So over here, here, or you can open it up and put it on the edge of A. So I wanted to make this album all about choices for you. So I think I'm going to have it so that it is over here, and then I'm going to put some swing tabs on this part. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put it, but please feel free to do whatever your heart desires. So I'm going to meet it, line it up with the left edge, and I'm going to adhere it down. Okay, so now it opens up and to the side that way, and then that opens, and you've got a pocket. Okay, so now we're going to add some magnets, and then we can put our pattern paper on. So to add a magnet, you put a little tiny piece of score tape where you'd like the magnet to be. You always want minimum ½ inch of space all the way around your magnet so that when you put your pattern paper on, it completely covers that magnet. And now you're going to put two, I don't know if you can see, oh, it's going to be hard to see. There's two magnets there that are just kind of already magnetized together. So two of them. Put another little piece of score tape on. Remove that score tape. And then fold down your piece to adhere the second magnet. So now we've got our D piece magnetized. Alright, then I'm also going to put one closing the D to the B piece. Another little piece of score tape. And close that up. And then I'm going to have one going from the B to the A. Now you don't have to use magnets in every instance that I do. If you prefer, there's There's other options. There's ribbon closures. There's, you know, the swing tabs. There's so many different ways to close something. So I just really like the magnets, and often I'll use magnets and swing tabs in conjunction. Alright, and there we go. So now there is the construction of your page 1. So I'm just going to get my pieces of pattern paper ready, and we'll go from there. Oh, I just realized I forgot something. If you want to, this is again optional, you can ink the edges of your paper with an ink blender and distress ink of your choice, and you just pounce a little bit and then just edge the just show you on a piece of scrap paper, and then I just go like this on the edge of the pattern paper, just so you don't see the white edge, just so it has a little bit of something. Okay, so you can do that. That is optional, but yeah, I do it. Okay, I'll be right back with my pattern paper. Okay, so I've got some of my pattern paper on already. I just didn't want to take too much time doing that, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me glue stuff. So I'll just go real slow and show you what I have, but you don't have to put the same paper on that I've used. This is just what I'm doing. Gonna go over there. So because we're adding swing tabs over here, we want to make sure that the pattern paper is not yet adhered to this part inside. Okay, so let's do the swing tabs now. So I've taken these just cut these little crowns from the paper that I was using, and I'm gonna cut, I've put them on some chipboard. Okay, so just glued them onto some chipboard, and then I'm just going to put them kind of here and here. So first we have to cut a hole in them. I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile to punch a hole. If you don't have a Crop-A-Dile, you can just use the pointy end of a really small pair of scissors. You know, just try not to make it too massive of a hole. So I'm just going to punch a couple holes. So one in this one. And then in the other one. Okay, and then place them where you would like them to be, and then we're going to put a little mark. So you want to make sure that as you turn them, they are out of the way of this piece of paper. So you need to move them far enough out this way. I don't know if you can see that, far enough out this way so that as you turn them, it rotates out of the way of this part opening. Okay, so about there. So I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to place a little hole so I know where to make the corresponding hole in this piece. And then I'll do the same with this one, try and line them up so they are relatively even. Make sure that that's going to move out of the way. Make a hole, make a mark. Okay, so now you've got two pen marks where you want to make your holes in this piece of paper. So then just punch a hole there, a corresponding hole. And then get a brad and put it through both of those holes that you've created. And then open the tines on the other side. And do the same for the top one. And open the tines. Now I like to put a little bit of score tape over the tines of my brads just so they don't move around too much. So just a little bit of score tape, or that they don't come out too. Okay, and then we can adhere the rest of those those pieces of paper for this part. So when you're matting anything, when you're putting your pattern paper on, all you need to do is measure the area that you want to cover and then just cut a piece of pattern paper. I tend to go a 1/4 inch smaller lengthwise and vertically so that you have a little bit of the black showing. And if you have a piece of paper, like I like to use all my scraps, so say you have a piece of paper that isn't quite big enough to fit where you want it to go, you can do paper piecing. Like for instance here, this wasn't quite wide enough, so I decided to use these strips. So you can make it work. And I think the paper piecing kind of adds that extra dimension too to your work. Okay, so I'm going to put this one down. And then this piece. Oh, a little bit crooked. Can I fix it? There we go. And then one last little piece over here. And if you have any adhesive that kind of goes over the edge, you can just take your finger and kind of push it back where it's supposed to be. And then that goes on the edge over here. And then for a pocket, you want to make sure that whatever piece you cut goes into the pocket about 1 inch or so, so that when you're putting your tags in, nothing gets stuck. I just like to have a little overlap in there. So we'll put that piece down. Oh, come on, work with me here. There we go. Okay, and then kind of slide it in there, but make sure it doesn't adhere until you get it in place. Like that. Okay, and so then that closes like that, and this closes like this. Make sure these are out of the way, and then close those up. And there you go, there's page 1. Yay! Awesome.